Hey guys, welcome to the Clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson, and today's review is going to be continuing my top 10 sitcoms with number 8, Rules of Engagement. I really love this show, and it really flew under the radar for a lot of people because I've been, researching some, other people's top 10 sitcoms, and not just on the internet, but actually asking a lot of people that I know, what they think of their top 10 sitcoms would be. And no one even mentioned this show. And I friggin' love this show. You got Putty from Seinfeld, what's his name? Patrick Warburton. And, Megan Price, which I loved in Grounded for Life. I love that show too. Even though it didn't make my top 10 list, but I still really enjoyed the show while it was on, but it doesn't have a lot of rewatchability like I think this show does. I've seen this entire series multiple times, just in syndication. I don't own the box set or anything like that, but I do love it enough that when I do see it on, I'll stop and watch it, just like most of these shows on my list. But you have a lot of greats in this show. David Spade, of course, which is awesome, and not everything he does, but most things he does. A lot of people didn't like Joe Dirt. I love Joe Dirt, and Joe Dirt came out around the same time the show did. I believe it came out in 2007. And right at that time, I was just having my divorce, and I was going through some really stressful times during that time, and this show really helped me get over a lot of stuff that was going on, because I love the whole married couple funny dynamic, basically bouncing off each other, giving each other a hard time, showing love, because that's kind of how I am. I give Ridgely a hard time all the time, and I love her for taking it, and she gives me a hard time, trust me. But mine's kidding, hers is kind of serious. But anyway, we have a good chemistry because we bounce off of each other, and give each other a hard time, and then we laugh about it, and that's kind of how this show is, and that's why I love this show so much, because of the dynamic between the characters. And then you have David Spade, who throws in the raunchy comedy of the show, which I'm a big fan of raunchy comedy, and this show is a raunchy comedy show. So if you're a fan of raunchy comedy, but you haven't seen this, definitely give it a try, because I love it. I love that kind of humor, raunchy humor. I love it, and David Spade is perfect in this role. He plays the creepy, sex fiend, that everybody hates but everybody loves at the same time, and you kind of hate his character but you kind of love his character at the same time. And I can't remember, I don't know the name of the his assistant that comes in, but their chemistry together is awesome. Not chemistry like love chemistry, but you know what I mean, like the acting off of each other is perfect. And I've heard that a lot of this stuff is improv, and that's another thing that I really love, is when actors just go straight off the cuff with their scenes, because I think it makes for a lot better cinema. Not that this is cinema, but you understand what I'm saying. Even for TV shows, it's cinematic. Well, not cinematic. What, telematic? What would you call that? I don't know. But you understand what I'm talking about. I love actors' chemistry when they just do improv. Anyway, that's why I love this show. And where is it on your list? It's number 8, which a lot of people are saying low. And, my barber gave me a hard time. I'm talking about you, Mr. Doug Moretti. I know you're probably watching this video too. But he gave me a hard time because Married with Children was number 10 on my list. But I tried to explain to him number 10 is very high on a list of 100. And there's even more than 100 sitcoms, and this list was very hard to do. I challenge you to put together your own top 10 sitcom list and just look up how many sitcoms there are and how many great sitcoms that there are. So it is very tough doing this list, but I do remember this show, I think I watched the entire series last year again. But every couple of years, I revisit this series because it's really funny, really great. Like I said, Megan Price, Patrick Warburton, which I love. I love him as Putty in Seinfeld. I just love his squinty look. Yeah, I don't know what you mean, but do that anyway. That's not a good impression. I'm not great at impressions, but anyway, the guy who I'm talking about. The actor that I'm talking about, and if you like him, you'll love this show because it's Putty for 20 minutes and it's awesome. Him and Megan Price are a perfect on-screen couple in my opinion, and throw in David Spade just doing his own single man creepiness sex addict thing. It's just hilarious, which makes the show well-rounded, and I really enjoy the show, and if it's on, I'll still check it out. So anyway, do you like Rules of Engagement? Is it on your top 10 list? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel, and as always, make yourself happy every day, and the only way to do that is to remember the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bam!